guys, I thought I would do an updated video as to what's been going on these last couple of weeks and why I haven't been posting. It's been pretty hectic last 2-3 weeks. There's been a lot going on in the way of a lot of changes and stuff. As I say things that are going on, I've got a tiny bit of footage, so when I explain it I'll put that footage next to it and stuff. But in order to catch you guys up, probably a couple of weeks ago we had to call the ambulance for my mum in regards to one of her health problems. I'm not going to go into detail what her health problems are, but she ended up being in the hospital for nearly a week. I stayed the night with her for the first night, and I don't think I only got about 10 minutes sleep or something. Then I came back home, and Brie and Brittany basically looked after the house for the next few days while she was in the hospital. We got updates and everything. She was able to contact us, and then a few days later we went down and visited her in the hospital. One of my mum's friends, one of our really close friends, came and took us down to the hospital, and we dropped off a hospital bag for mum and you know, gave her all the stuff. I did take a tiny bit of footage there, so I'll insert that now.
Keeps on falling, but I can't feel it crawling down my skin. Numb to the world outside, I let the water fill me from within. You used to walk beside me, I used to be another man. Give me a reason, baby, something that I can understand. Up the sky tonight, let's set the world alight. Fill up this desperate show, oh, with your warming glow.
Okay, so yeah, that's what happened then. And then we thought that was going to be it, you know. She came home, she's getting better, which is good. And then probably less than a week ago, I know the last time I uploaded in regards to the guppies and everything, actually before I went into it, I think it would have been probably about a week or so, I got a LG Eater, golden LG Eater, which we don't know the gender of, that we called Charlie. And I'll insert some pictures of them now.
You only call me on the weekends when you're out and about, only chasing highs. You need me, he brings me flowers on a Tuesday. He gives me good loving, something that I never thought existed. I know what I need, ain't gonna lie. I know what I want, speaking my mind now. A queen needs a king to be by her side. On my mind's loving's on my mind. He can do me better, he can do me better. On my mind's everything I like. He can do me better, he can do me better than you. Can love me better than you do, yeah. You can love me better than you. You only call me on the weekends when you're out and about. Tell me, do you really need me? I'm painting pictures and I'm dreaming about that good loving, something that I know you cannot give me. I know what I need, ain't gonna lie. I know what I want, speaking my mind now. A queen needs a king to be by her side. On my mind's loving's on my mind. He can do me better, he can do me better. On my mind's everything I like. He can do me better, he can do me better than you. Can love me better than you do, yeah. You can love me better than you. It's like we're stuck, you won't grow up, and I'm getting tired of waiting. It's like we're stuck.
But yeah, so yeah, and then probably less than a week ago, it would have been a few days ago, unfortunately the tank that they were in sprung a leak. We're not sure where or how, but I ended up rushing down to the hospital, the pet stop, to get them another tank which was smaller, but unfortunately I couldn't get a lid for the top of it. So we made a Mum made a makeshift like box lid to kind of, to be like in the meantime, so that the next day I could get a proper lid for them. Just a quick video. This is currently the setup at the moment. Mum put that over top to stop them from jumping out. She's put holes in it and make sure there's a gap.
She said I won't be back in a while. Don't wait. Already packed her bags, called the cab, made space. And she said I won't answer if you call me when you're lonely. I guess I let her go. Never mind, it's too late. But I can't believe I let you slip. I think about it 7 days a week, and this just can't be how it's supposed to end up. It's not enough. And maybe time will make you fade, but I don't know if I'm ready to just let you go away. Like my
and unfortunately, because the lip water was quite high, Charlie ended up falling out of it, or jumping out of it a couple of times. So I had to put them in a separate orange bowl for a few hours, and then they started to perk up, and I'm like, okay, cool, I can transfer them back into the tank, because I didn't want to keep them in the bowl because the bowl wasn't heated properly. So I put them back in the tank, and I thought, oh yep, that's all good. We put the cardboard cover over top of them and everything, and we thought, oh yay, awesome, they should be all good for the night. Then I went to bed, and about 7 o'clock in the morning the next morning, Mum came in and woke me up, and she turned on the light and checked in the tank, and unfortunately Charlie had passed away. We found them upside down in the tank. So I took them out and put them in the orange bowl that I'd used previously. Then we started to count the fish in the tank, and only realised that there were only 3 swimming around in the tank. And before I got Charlie I had 6, so 3 fish were missing. So we started searching through the plants and searching all over my ground and searching everywhere for them. Unfortunately we found one that was already passed, that was dried out down beside my door, which we soon discovered to, I think, be Ziggy, which broke my heart, because then I'd had 2 fish that had just passed away. So I picked up Ziggy, put him in the bowl even dried out. And we went back to checking the tank to figure out where the other missing two had gone. Brittany moved the stuff out from underneath the table down there, and she discovered the last two underneath the table, and she said, oh, I think the other two have jumped out, and we thought they'd passed. So I picked them both up, and when I went to put them in the bowl, one at a time obviously, they started flipping around, so I thought, oh yes, I might be able to set them in time and quickly put them into the tank with both of them. Unfortunately, they started like swimming up, and then I don't know what would happen, and then they just started sinking to the bottom and then going up to the top and going down to the bottom. So those two fish were Phineas, and it was either Dash or Ziggy, and eventually Phineas ended up passing away, and Brittany scooped him up and put him in the bowl. Any background noise, ignore, it's just the neighbours. And we couldn't really spot the other fish, so you know, I think Brittany ended up spotting him after a while, just floating in the tank. And then when Brittany went to pick him up, he sunk down to like the bottom of the tank, so I had to pick up the plant that was in it and scoop him up and put him in the bowl. But yeah, basically 4 of the fish passed away. Charlie, Ziggy, Dash and Phineas. So yeah, we had to bury them that night, and it was pretty bloody hard. We had a little funeral for them, and they're buried out in the garden. I know that people usually will flush fish down the toilet, but I didn't feel right doing that, so we put them in these little, sorry, it's still really hard for me to talk about. We put them in these little jewellery containers in this old putty container, and I lined them with cotton wool, and we went outside and we dug a hole for them and set up an area. I came back inside, we decorated the boxes, and I came back in and placed them in the boxes and wrapped tape around the boxes so that if the cats or any dogs were to dig them out, that they couldn't actually get into the boxes. So yeah, we ended up doing that. We ended up burying them and everything, which is just heartbreaking because obviously the water was too high, and I didn't realise it at the time. I thought it had to be nice and high, you know, to be, you know, the right one, and obviously the water hadn't heated up enough. Ferb, Star and Finn are still alive, but unfortunately I had to rehome them because my heart couldn't handle losing them 3 as well as, you know, the 4 that I'd already had lost. So yeah, unfortunately we don't have them anymore. I ended up giving them to a friend who's got kids and everything, and so she's looking after them, and she's been sending me pictures so I can insert those and all the funeral pictures and everything. But that was I think that would have been the beginning of this week.
trying to make my way, knocking on every door in this maze. The times it's all out of reach. Soldier on, when it's harder to learn than to teach. Soldier on. I do believe that if someone is willing to pay all their dues, there's almost no end to what can be won one day. You gotta choose. The times it's all out of reach. Soldier on, when it's harder to learn than to teach. Soldier on, come rain, storm, or blue sky. Soldier on. Soldier on, through both night and day. Soldier on, onward all the way. Soldier on, soldier on, soldier The times it's all out of reach. Soldier on.
At the moment, not quite sure, but I've cleaned up my room since then, which was really hard. And we cleaned out the drawers, they're no longer there, and everything. And then this morning, before I mention it, please no Karens in the comments, okay? I had to give Socks a bath for the first time in ever. Like, I've never had to give him a bath, but because he is coming up 11 years old, his white fur was yellow, basically. He was very smelly, and he'd been like that for a couple of days. I know you guys are going to go, oh, you know, the kids clean themselves. Yeah, I know, I've had him for nearly 11 years, so I know the kids clean themselves. But he'd been smelly in this like this for the last few days, so I knew that there was obviously something that he couldn't clean. And I can't find his clippers at the moment, so he's still got quite long fur. So I ended up giving him a bath in the pool cat, and like giving him a proper bath and a proper clean and everything, so I'll insert all that.
We're falling out, we have reached disaster. Don't know where we're gonna be after. And we do it all again and again and again and again. Again and again and again and again. We're falling down, we faded. But I know that we can save it. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Even if we go a lot and break us down, I know we are Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega. Like the waves pull you down underwater. We're fun until we hit the bottom. And we do it all again and again and again and again. Again and again and again and again. We're falling down, we faded. But I know that we can save it. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Even if we go a lot and break us down, I know we are Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and know we can save it. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Even if we go all out and break us down, yeah, we can work it out. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Even if we go all out and break us down, yeah, we can work it out. Alpha and Omega, Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Even if we go all out and break us down, I know we are Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega, Alpha and Omega.
Footage and everything, so no Karen's commenting, you guys. I know I've looked up lots of things. This is something that will happen, probably won't even happen often, probably once every couple months at the minimum, because I know that, you know, he washes himself and stuff. He just needed that extra clean. So now he's white now, instead of these white parts are white instead of yellow now. But yeah, that's just everything that's been happening the last few weeks. It's been super stressful. I'm in the hospital, losing the fishes and having to give away the other one, rehome the other ones. And then today I'm having to give Socky a bath because he was smelly and really needed it. And as you guys can tell, I've had a haircut since then from one of our wonderful neighbours. But yeah, as far as I know, that's pretty much the update for today. There's not really a lot that's gone on besides that. None that I can remember. If I do, then I will add it to this video, but apart from that, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.